George picks him up. The shot misses.
And good defense there to play up and get a hand in the face.
Well, he's got a tough mindset. He's confident as a defender. And when you combine those two things, it makes it real hard to score on him.
Now, here is George, following the miss by Michael Jordan. And there's Ellis. That's good on the assist by George.
A lot of space right there to get that shot off.
Not a very good job of the defender getting over the top of that screen in that particular play.
Now, here's Nash. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change.
That's exactly how you have to defend him. He's a guy that the D needs to be aware of at all times.
Here's Hill. It's a 14-point game. Hill a screen on McGrady. Ellis outside. Puts it up from 12. Great D that time from Jordan.
Not really his best quarter as far as scoring. Let's see if he can eventually get back on track.
O'Neal. And good, and it takes a nice bounce off the right iron and down. Shaq's got 11.
And no doubt they've come into this game with a really aggressive approach, just pounding the ball inside.
It certainly is working. They're finding the open lanes to the hoop and owning this game early.
Shaq is really having a good game here.
He's really taking it to him inside. They got to find a way to slow him down. How about a look at the Pacers and where they ranked in the NBA last season? 3rd in opponent field goal percentage, 4th in opponent points per game, and they also showed up in the top 5 in team rebounds. That means everybody's doing their job on the boards. This is a very strong rebounding team.
And you mentioned their ranking in terms of opponent field goal percentage. Such an important stat. They did not give up the easy looks. You really had to work for whatever you got.
And Toronto making a change here. Abdul-Jabbar's checked in, and that one's good.
Really aggressive play there, taking it to the rack against the big fella.
You know, Greg, aggressiveness is really the only option when you're on the wrong side of the size equation.
The screen from Kemp, and it's Abdul-Jabbar penetrating, off to a good start as he hits his first shot attempt.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
And when you make 5 in a row in close like that, it also takes pressure off your perimeter guys, too.
And a breakdown here, guys. The hustle stats for Toronto.
And it's been about their defense. They're playing with a frenetic pace, putting a lot of pressure on the ball handlers and forcing turnovers.
They've gotten their fair share of points off turnovers so far tonight, too.
Here's Hill. Steve Nash making his last shot. No coverage that time. Hill's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. Nash against Hill. It's Nash with the drive. Here's Jordan. There it is. It's Nash picking up the assist. Nash has got 3 assists in the game. Pacers trail by 17. They set the pick. Nash against Hill. To the paint. It's deflected. Kemp with the steal. The drive by Jordan. Can't connect from short range.
And already they've staked out a noticeable advantage in terms of aggression and controlling the backcourt.
And a trend they'd love to continue right through the next 3 quarters as well, Greg.
Here is Nash. Following the basket by Rodney Stuckey. Shoots a fader. Rebound by Mahimi.
You know, the right thing there to try to fade away with the D all over him, but that is a difficult shot to sink.
To the middle. And the layup's good off the glass.
And that's another assist for a team that is putting on a clinic on how to share the ball.
And I love the mentality that they've had. If a shot isn't there, they're not forcing it. They're moving it side to side until they finally get the one they want.
Kempa screen on Hill. Here's Jordan. And again, Toronto no luck.
No other way to put it. Just a poor shooting performance for him. But luckily, his teammates have picked up the slack.
In the corner, Stuckey with it. Again, Indiana.
That's their third straight make off an assist.
Great ball movement. And Toronto had a strong season against the East last year. They would end up with 33 wins against their own conference and earn that 4 seed in the East. And check out the numbers for Stuckey. Last season's performance for him put up about 12 points a game, 3 assists and 3 rebounds. And you look at those numbers, not bad. But, guys, I think he can do better, and he knows it.
And he has high expectations for himself as well, guys, but he just hasn't delivered fully on his potential yet.
Vince Carter, he's checked in for Steve Nash. Toronto leading by 11. And the Raptors did play the other East teams well, went 500 against the rest of the Eastern Conference playoff teams, too.
And despite that, we know the Raptors had a disappointing playoff run to end the year, but I thought they still showed that they are a power in the East by having another strong season against the conference.
Outside Hill. Passes to Hill. Stuckey against Carter. Stuckey kicks to Hill. Clock at 6 with his first shot attempt, and it's Hill. That time the assist by Hill.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
You know, the defense, Greg, has really been kept off balance because of the outstanding passes. 4 straight field goals have been made off an assist.
It's stolen by Mahinmi. Hill with it, and it's Carter picking him up. Hill drives in. He kicks it to Hill. And it's Toronto with the rebound. Kemp's got 4 rebounds in this game.
Yeah, they got that one, but early on, it's really been a struggle for them to secure that defensive backboard.
And because it's still early, I wouldn't read too much into it. There's still a lot of game left.
Here's Jordan. Good on the shot. Jordan's got 15.
Already seizing control of this game.
Total control, Greg, and as well as they're playing at both ends, I look for this lead to get even larger.
Domination in the first quarter. It's been pretty lopsided. Raptors lead by 14. After this break, we'll be back with the start of the second quarter on 2K Sports.
I realize this.
Well, not exactly a close game so far, but as the second quarter starts here, plenty of time for a comeback. And guys, the Raptors enjoying a nice lead here.
You know, it's been about how solid they've been offensively here, really tuned in with one another.
Good ball movement, and it's paid off on the scoreboard.
Pacers trail by 14 on the court for Indiana. Rodney Stuckey out there with Ellis. Then there's Ian Mahinmi. Then there's Allen. And it's George in at the 3. Now here's Ellis. 6 on the shot clock. And it's good. Ellis has got the opening basket here in the second quarter for Indiana.
Hard to get that one off with the size difference there. That makes it a tough individual matchup for him, especially down low.
Well, took on the big guys going in there and challenging them like he did. But, boy, that was a nice job.
Stuckey against McGrady. There's the screen. George with no one around. Shot is off. And Toronto will come the other way. They led by as many as 18 points.
Well, they've only got a slight edge in rebounding when you look at the numbers, but it certainly feels a lot bigger than it is. Man, he slams it home and gets a little camera time on the backside of it.
He spent a while up there on the rim.
And I like the fact that the ref's going to give him a little bit of leeway there and a lot more than they used to.
And the replay, of course, presented by Kia. What a play. Here's Mahinmi. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. That's on Yao Ming.
First personal foul.
The Pacers have shot 2 free throws, and they're 1 of 2 so far.
Taking 2 shots.
He misses the free throw. O'Neal's checked in for the Raptors. Nash comes in for McGrady. No good at the stripe this time. Second misses also.
And the Pacers just missed out on the playoffs last year and would have to settle for 9th in the East. Hard for a team that has been so dominant in the East over recent seasons.
And the foul on Monte Ellis.
That's his second personal foul.
And we're a little over a minute and a half into the second quarter of action. Shaq with the screen. Here's Nash. Loses his man off the screen and lays it up and in. Nash has got his second basket of the game. And there's the pass to George. Screen by Ellis. Stuckey kicks to Ellis. Stuckey a screen on Carter. The 3 from George. Toronto grabs the miss.
Their game plan needs to change if they're going to get out of this hole because he is just not there offensively.
Stuckey can't get it to go.
Terrific job that time defending at the rim. I mean, it's not an easy task stopping that fella when he's headed to the bucket like that. Good job.
Rodman passes to Yao. Rodman sets a screen. Shot clock at 5. Here's O'Neal. There it is. It's Nash picking up the assist. Shaq's got 13.
And chalk up a few more points for him there. This has been a one-sided game in just about every area.
Absolutely. I echo that sentiment. Their offense, their defense. I mean, it's all been terrific.
Yeah, enough scoring on the inside there. I think it's time for him to send a message to his team.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I guarantee you this talk centers around cutting down on all of those points coming in the paint. They've got to show more resistance there.
It's time now to look at the NBA's toughest defensive teams from a season ago. The Pacers fourth.
Boy, it was a long year, and you were reminded of it every time you played this team. I mean, they never gave up a lot of points. They made you work for everything. And the points you did get against them were really hard-earned.
C.J. Miles, he's checked in for Indiana. Here's Allen. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Allen with the screen for George. Over in the corner, Ellis to end the drought, and he gets it to go.
You might not think of him as a laser three-point shooter, but that shot was there for him, and he had to take it.
Nash kicks to Rodman. There's a good screen. Picked by Yao. Feeds it to Rodman. Shot clock at 6. Right wing. Here's Nash. Can't hit. Great defense that time from Ellis. Pacers trail by 17. Allen, a screen on Nash. Ellis kicks to Allen. And he hits the jump shot. Allen's got his first bucket of the night.
Superb playmaking from Monte Ellis. That dish was right on time.
Ellis against Nash. To the paint. It's stolen by Mahinmi. And up the court come the Pacers on the break. Ellis with the ball. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
And let's take a look now at some stats for Ellis. How he did last season. He was around 19 points per game last year. 4 assists and 2 rebounds. And guys, he's making winning plays. It's as simple as that. Not a star player per se, but he makes his presence felt.
And fellas, I would say he's been overachieving a little bit lately. Hopefully this is a sign of greater things for the future.
All right now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
And the first one at the line is good.
And the Raptors have been talking about changing things up in the logo department for a while. Finally, we get a chance to see the new logo this season.
And Miles drops them both. As you said, the Raptors with the new logo this year, Greg. Good-looking change, too, I think, Clark.
Yeah, I think it's subtle enough to not lose the continuity, but still feel fresh and new. I like that. That's a nice job of balancing the old with freshening up for the new.
It's good, and he drew contact on the shot, so he will go to the line. A 3-point play chance here.
Indiana foul. C.J. Miles. First personal foul, team second.
Raptors have gone 3 for 3 at the line tonight. Pacers trail by 16. Allen, a screen on Nash. Ellis kicks to Allen. Yes, and it's Ellis picking up the assist. Allen's got his second basket. For Toronto, they've gone 5 of 7 from the field here in the second. Outside, Rodman. Carter outside. Screen by O'Neal. Here's the screen. Carter right side. He feeds it to Yao. Just 2 to shoot. Shot, high post. And again, it's Toronto converting.
And he has really come to life here after a slow start in that first quarter.
Outside, George. Screen by Ellis. Kicks to Miles. Shot off the screen. It's hauled in by the Raptors. They led the game at 1 point by 20.
You've got to give them a lot of credit for the job they've done on the backboards.
They've done a lot of things well today, but really it's about what they've done on the backboard that's at the top of that list. You can't afford to get him that kind of a look.
Well, you know, he came off a good screen, but still, as a defender, you got to do a better job of fighting over and through that.
And it's Ellis penetrating. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. Monte Ellis has always had a knack for the big shot. When things are on the line, he is a guy that is not afraid to step up.
And Kevin, last season, he had a number of big second halves and fourth quarters for the Mavs. Really took over that primary scoring role from Dirk Nowitzki. Stole a lot of games for them last season.
Yeah, Monte did have a lot of big second halves for the Mavs last season. Seems like at least half a dozen games for them, he would just take over. Started to get looked at as the top go-to guy late.
Good on both.
And for Monte, it makes sense to go to him late in games. He's so fast that he can create a shot anytime he wants. And very rarely does he not give you a chance to win with just one shot remaining.
And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Lavoy Allen. That is his first foul of the game.
You know what? Tried to step in and cut him off, but just didn't get there quick enough.
Yeah, he was one step late that time, Greg.
Hill, he's checked in for Ian Mahinmi. Picked by Yao. Over to the left wing. Nash with no one around. And a miss there on the triple. Here is Miles. Rodman covering. Ellis down low. Carter on him. And Hill throws it down.
Tell you what, Kevin, they'd love to see him get a lot more of those opportunities.
Mark, that deficit will go away quickly if he does.
And how about how he capped that one out? Almost like the 1-2 punch.
Carter outside, over to the wing, and here's Nash outside, and the basket good. Nash has got 9.
He's been one of their more reliable options today, guys. I mean, his shooting has led them to this lead.
Allen, a screen on Carter. Allen with the screen for Ellis. In the corner, George with it. Tried to come right back with the 3 of his own, but it's no good.
He's been anything but his usual self this quarter. It's actually been ugly to see.
Shaq with the screen. Here's Nash. That's in. That's his 5th field goal. He's shooting a hot 71%. 5 for 7. Pacers trail by 19. Ellis kicks to George. Allen, a screen on Rodman. George dishes to Allen. Had the space there, but it's offline.
With the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in control of this game.
And no doubt about it, rebounding is an effort stat, folks. They've been more determined than their opponent thus far.
It's stolen by Allen. 3 on 3. Ellis, the pass to George. And, yep, finally drops after rolling around the rim. George has got his 3rd basket of the night right there.
Toronto in the timeout. Okay, fans, put your hands together for your game time.
Well, Kevin, a look here at last year in the NBA where the Raptors ranked. 2nd in free throw percentage, 3rd in fewest turnovers per game. And they also showed up in the top 5 in overall offense. This team has no trouble scoring the basketball. That's the least of their concerns. They love to get it up and down and put it in the hole.
And looking back at their superb free throw percentage, it speaks volumes about their skill level and mental focus. They had very few letdowns in concentration.
Kemp kicks to Nash. Back to Kemp from 12 feet out and off the left side of the rim, and it swirls in for him. Kemp's got his second basket of the night. Pacers trail by 19. Now here is Hill. There's the pick. And it's Hill penetrating. George, that's a two-pointer. George missing again.
No other way to put it. Just a rough quarter in terms of scoring. He has not been helping at all.
McGrady kicks it over to Nash. Back to McGrady. Good, and the assist goes to Nash. And the Raptors lead by 21.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with the way they work down low.
It's becoming a theme in this game, Clark. They are piling up the points in the paint.
Hill dishes to Allen. It's Hill on the wing, defended by Nash. Hill passes to Allen. Just 3 to shoot. From deep, George. And the rebound goes to Nash.
You can see the frustration in the quarter on his face, especially with his team trailing.
Jordan with a screen on Hill. Nash kicks to Abdul-Jabbar. To the paint, Jordan. No good. George with the defensive effort. Pacers trail by 21. Well, the Pacers, despite all their injuries from last season, were right in the playoff hunt until the very end. Had a chance, in fact, GA, on the last day to sneak in, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, they needed a Brooklyn loss to go along with them winning that last game. Ultimately, though, it wasn't in the cards for them, and they ended a game out of the postseason.
Jordan dishes to Kemp, and he jams it with authority.
It really does make the game easy for your teammates when you can lead them to the rim that well with the pass.
And, you know, the Pacers had made the playoffs in each of the last 4 seasons prior to last year's miss. Hard for a team that was coming off back-to-back conference finals appearances to stomach that. But with the injuries, they'll be better and back in the playoffs next year, I'm sure.
And George, here we go. That doesn't go either for George.
Not a bad look for him on that shot, but it just doesn't seem to be his night tonight.
Nash the pass to Kemp. McGrady against Hill. Abdul-Jabbar, a screen on Hill. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Jordan Hill. That is his first foul of the game.
And really, these are some of the toughest calls an official has to make.
Yeah, but in this case, I think he got it right. I mean, the defender was still moving there and never really had good legal guarding position. He wasn't set.
The Pacers making a switch here. Stuckey's checked in. 1:22 left in the first half. McGrady, and there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line.
And really, it's going to be more of a reload than a rebuild situation for the Pacers. You would have to imagine their goal isn't just to get back to the playoffs, but to get back to being a conference final participant.
Well, the one word you can use to describe the Raptors postseason last year, disaster. I mean, Greg, nothing went right for them.
Yeah, I mean, after that great regular season, they were completely just manhandled by the Wizards, swept out of the first round in 4 straight.
And McGrady drops them both.
Well, I tell you, the Raptors really were befuddled with how that series went. I mean, they just never got things going and became the first team to get swept with home court advantage in the playoffs since 2011.
On the wing, Hill, Abdul-Jabbar covering. And Allen slams it in.
That's how to orchestrate for your teammate. Terrific pass.
59 seconds left in the first half of basketball.
And guys, you look at the Raptors last season and how they stumbled at times. You could see that they would have trouble in the postseason with the way they were constructed. I don't think anybody saw a sweep coming, but that's where it ended up being.
And again, Toronto no up. Pacers trail by 21. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot two. Everyone knows about the Paul George injury from last year and how it affected the Pacers. He said almost the entire season, and there was no doubt they missed him.
Yeah, and when George came back, Kevin, the Pacers got hot, but they had to put him on a minutes limit. And it wasn't just George, though. The team as a whole had a lot of injuries during the course of the season.
And, you know, as you said, the Pacers did have problems with injuries. The team roster missed 219 games due to injury. So compare that to the 69 games missed by the Pacers in 2014. Big difference.
And Allen drops them both.
And really, guys, the most telling part of the Pacers' injury troubles was this. Had to use 15 different starting lineups over the course of the season. Just hard to stay consistent and competitive when you are always replacing an injured player in the lineup.
Pass to Kemp. And it's going to be a 3-second call. And Indiana making a change here. We've got 13 seconds left to play here in the half. And here is Hill. With one on the clock, and that's going to do it. Some good defense down the stretch to end the quarter. And so a pretty lopsided game through the first half. Toronto ahead, up 19. Time now for the halftime break, with the third quarter soon to follow right here on 2K Sports.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
And what an amazing performance the hometown fans are witnessing here tonight. Ernie Johnson, Kenny the Jet Smith, and Shaquille O'Neal. It was a fast pace for Toronto at the outset. They showed tremendous effort and drove the action early, starting off with a 9-2 run. Their confidence continued as they ended up leading still by a huge margin at the end of one. Then in quarter number 2, they actually increased their intensity to pull further out in front, finishing with a double-digit advantage at the half. And taking a look at the Raptors, Kenny, what did you see out there?
What a true demonstration of dominance. They made a commitment to owning the glass, and they made good on it. Blocking out, competing hard in traffic, that's the way you should play on both ends of the court.
Shaq, your take on Indiana.
Well, when you look at the opponent field goal percentage, that tells the whole story. They gave them way too many good looks. When they come out of the break, they got to play way tougher, Ernie. Get those hands up. Get in your opponent's face. Do something.
And that's going to do it for now as the second half is just about to get started. Now back to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K Sports crew. We will see you later.
We're getting back to the action now. It's been a one-team show so far. We'll see if that changes here in the third. What a game we're seeing from Michael Jordan.
I just love the tenacity on the defensive side. I mean, his play on D has been a huge factor for them as he continues to get steal after steal.
And guys, as the game moves on, I think he should continue to be aggressive defensively to keep ball handlers off balance.
Pacers trail by 19. They've got Michael Jordan. Shaquille O'Neal is out there with Sean Kemp. Then it's Nash, and it's McGrady in at the 2. They're the group for Dwayne Casey starting the second half. And George kicks to Allen. It's Ellis on the wing. Down to 5 on the shot clock. It's stolen by McGrady. Here's Jordan. Flushes it down to finish the break.
And I like how he puts himself in position there to finish on the break.
Yeah, you know, that's what we call seeing and feeling the game. Excellent read of how that play was going to develop and where the ball was going. That's stuff that you oftentimes can't teach, Greg.
Allen, a screen on Jordan. And George kicks to Allen. Rebounded by Kemp. Kemp's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Here's McGrady out to Nash. Inside, Shaq dishing to Kemp. Nash against Ellis. Shaq with the screen. Right side, Jordan. Good, and the assist goes to Nash. And that's 19 points for Jordan.
And he came off that screen, and then he just didn't get over the top of it.
Yep, weren't there in time enough to challenge Greg, and when that's the case, you can mark those up for him.
Pick up by Hill. Jordan against George. Ellis wide open. Drains it from beyond the arc. Ellis has got 12 in the game.
Not too much respect shown to him by the defenders.
Tell you what, Monte Ellis is one of the best second-round draft picks of all time in the league, not just the last decade. I mean, this guy was a 5-star recruit out of high school, committed to college, but changed his mind and entered the draft, where the Warriors stole him with the 40th pick in 2005.
Hill passes to Ellis. It's George on the wing, guarded by Jordan. And George, here we go. It's blocked. And that's out of bounds. Indiana will retain possession. From deep three-point range.
It has not been an ideal start to the second half. They've missed 3 of their first 4.
Here's Jordan. Second chance shot, and that one's good. Kemp's got 8 points.
And a big lead for them on both the scoreboard and the backboard thus far.
Yeah, rebounding has been a big key in this one, Greg. They've asserted their will and have taken control on the glass.
Getting back to Monte Ellis. Had he gone to college for even 1 year, I think he would have probably been a top 10 pick. But you look at what he's brought to the table over his career, points and assists, rebounds, steals, playmaking. His production has been astounding.
You know, he's one of those unsung players. He never gets voted to the All-Star game. Never gets spoken about as one of the top guards in this league. But you look at the body of work, and you ask his competitors throughout this league, and they're going to tell you that guy's as tough as they get.
And now let's have a look at the teams that were last year's best from the free throw line. The Raptors in second.
Collectively, I mean, they had an amazing year at the free throw line. Sometimes free throw shooting can be contagious, and it seemed like everyone on their team had the hot hand.
Just over 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second half. Here's Hill, and lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. That's on Shaq.
Wow, he got whacked on that one. Shouldn't be much debate there.
Blatant contact. Straightforward call. Simple.
For Indiana, they have made 7 free throws and missed 3 in this game.
Okay, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
And he makes the first. Both free throws good from Hill. Just over 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second half. McGrady outside. There's the dish to O'Neal. Jordan with it. Picked up by Ellis. And plenty of contact on the shot. So 2 free throws coming up.
Well, a good game tonight for Shaq. He's got 13 points, and when it comes to rebounding, he's had a nice night there, too.
He's not afraid to mix it up there in the middle, getting in there and doing a lot of the dirty work.
For Toronto, they have been perfect so far from the free throw line, 6 for 6.
And last season, as a team, they knocked down 79% of their free throws, so those are numbers you'll be happy with.
You know, something you can point to when you're talking about their areas of success last season, free throw shooting.
O'Neal hits them both. Second half of play, and we're 3 minutes into the third here. Hill against Nash. Pick up by Hill. Ellis outside. George up top. The offensive rebound. Hill. No luck.
And how many extra possessions have they gotten because of that rebounding edge?
Well, it's been a bunch, and I think it's made the difference in the game. I mean, they've actually done a great job on the board.
Nash against Hill. 6 to shoot. Nash drives in. Here's Kemp. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in. Kemp's got 4 points now in the quarter.
You know, of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is major smash mouth basketball, guys.
All about imposing your will offensively, getting exactly the kind of looks their coach drew up.
Ellis kicks to Allen. Back to Ellis. Lets it fly from 18. And that one's good. Ellis has got 14.
And, you know, he's enjoyed the kind